Hey everybody, it's Saturday the 14th of November 2020. Ted here, and I'm in a place in Halifax called the Bayer'S Lake Mystery Walls. And apparently they're just that, and they're walls that I think the official story is there is no official story on them. So this is them, and as you can see, 3 feet or a meter or so across. Yeah. Here's a sign. No digging, no collecting, no metal detecting. Protected under the Special Places Protection Act 1989. Any unauthorized site disturbance prohibited by law, da-da-da-da-da. But they don't say nothing about taking pictures and leaving footprints, so we'll have a little boo around and see what the word is. There's a construction site there and some no trespassing signs. I think there was a theory it was some kind of maybe outpost or fortification. And I don't know, it would be awful small if it was, although at one point, as you can see, it commands a bit of a view, especially if there wasn't any brush around here. So there's that, I guess. Someone's left an old sack here. A bong. So that was that, eh? And you can see the field stone has been well laid. And I mean, gosh knows, this could be just stuff people put up over, you know, this one here particularly. I want to say it's a nicely fit cornerstone, but that could have been just added by someone modern times. So this is pretty cool. I think there's other stuff to explore too in the area. I'm just going to take a little peek around. Don't want to spend a lot of time here because there was a no trespassing sign, so hopefully no goons show up to chase me off. But this is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Almost looks like this here could have been like another chimney or buttressed out part of something. Yeah. And I mean, gosh knows what's going on underneath all this scrub too, because this is boreal forest that overgrows everything pretty quick. So yeah, definitely kind of neat. The whole thing's about the size of a small house, but a significant amount of effort went into placing all those stones, certainly. So I'm going to stop the film now and take some pictures. So I've poked around the site, and aside from finding a few interesting looking big boulders, which are probably just glacial deposit, there's this site here. So what's the meaning of it? I think another theory was put forth that it was just a simple farmer's sheep pen, although it looks a little heavy duty for keeping sheep, and also not very high. So yeah, one can only wonder, and why these little structures here, if not maybe some kind of a chimney or cold storage cellar or something, maybe. Who's to know? Could it be a fortification of some sort? Possibly. They call it 5-sided, so I guess the far side and this one are 2 for sure, 3, and this kind of makes like an arrowhead pointed. I don't know which direction is north. That would be interesting to know. But a pretty cool site altogether. And it was only an 8-minute or so drive from my hotel, so that was pretty cool. And I think I might actually go take a cruise and check out Peggy's Cove. Sunday, the 15th of November 2020, and I'm back at the Bayer's Lake Mystery Wall. This time I'm actually at the wall itself. Yesterday I had only been to the five-sided structure and checked that out and a few boulders that I had seen around it. Today we're looking at the actual wall. The structure is back up there, probably about 50 meters, maybe 100, I don't know. And so we have the wall here, and it seems to run following the contour of the hill here a bit. So I'm going to check it out a little bit. And I've just got my running gear on today. I actually ran here from the hotel along the Chain of Lakes Trail. Highly recommend. Beautiful facility for the city. Paved, gentle grades. Nice, not even too much traffic on it this morning, so that was awesome. But going back to the wall, yeah, and I've learned that it's protected, meaning you're not supposed to walk on it or anything, of course, too. Not that I'd want to try it with all these slippery leaves or anything. And yeah, who wants to destroy something when you don't know what it could have been? So yeah, that's the video, and we'll follow it along for a few minutes, and then I'll probably take a few more pictures. It is a protected area, which is a good thing, but it doesn't seem to be too highly developed in terms of walking trails, although it is fairly well worn. Apparently this site was only developed or discovered in the 1980s, the structure and walls here, which I find is unusual. You know, Halifax being what it is and probably highly traveled, you'd think somebody, hobos or someone, would have had a hoochie back here. But yeah, look at this. I'm going to get down below the wall here. Oh, this is neat. It is like a fortification. And I mean, look at the high vantage point you have here. Bayer's Lake and the whole area. So this is just aching to be defended if you're looking at defending something, or at least seeing who's coming to dinner. So this is pretty cool. Some stones kind of shoved in there. And the problem with a uninterpreted structure like this is it could be anything. It could have been a farmer keeping sheep. It could have been, as somebody put it on the internet, it could have been the space aliens that built it as a secret refuge for the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail. Who knows? But anyhow, it's pretty neat. This seems more like rubble here, capping it off at the top, although it was built on living bedrock here, and that is built up at some painstaking labor with heavier stuff at the bottom. So that's stuff to point out. I don't know if I'm safe to go down this mess here in these little dancing shoes that I've got on for running, but as you can see, the rock work over there is smaller. But it looks definitely well made, like it is straight. I mean, it took, I won't say a mason, because the people of old were more skilled at working with their hands and working the land itself. But I, today, would be hard put to it to make a structure that straight out of rock. And to have it stand all this time, if it's as old as they say it is, from the 1700s, through all the frost heaves, through all the snow, through all potential flooding, yeah, that's a remarkable thing. I'm going to cut the video off now and get some pictures. So we'll see what else we find. So, I've just traveled about a dozen meters down the length of the wall. I can maybe explain some of that tumbling down there. Might be this, where it looks like the wall thins out a little bit right here. And it goes back to, that's better than a meter. That's about 1.25 meters. Anyway, about 4 feet wide right there. Again, showing quite regular lines in terms of construction. More rubble and small rock on the top, bigger stuff on the bottom. To what end? I just don't know. It's definitely not a sheep pen. I mean, it's not continuous around, so it wouldn't hold anything in. Who would have scavenged some of the rocks and left the rest? I suppose never say never, but yeah. You don't see any obvious battlements. You wouldn't need them necessarily. You have a bunch of guys, 1700s, you're talking muskets. You could probably squat down or kneel down behind here and do a good job. That tree's fallen fairly recently, I'd say. Here's another big boulder, some quartz onto it. And the whole thing seems to terminate here at this. I don't know if it goes up and beyond or not. Don't know if I want to try and climb that right there or not. There's another notice about special places protected. So if you do come here, don't fool with it and destroy it. There might be something to be learned here. A little bit of a cavity in there, I want to say. But that's the whole paradox of this thing, is it runs so deliberate and so straight, and yet in places it kind of looks like somebody maybe rebuilt it by lesser hands, who knows. Some interesting looking moss here, the light green stuff versus the older stuff there. But look at how straight that is. Well made for the most part, and continuous, and it's only a little twisty given the age, so that's pretty cool. I might try and climb this just a little bit and see what happens. Hopefully nothing interesting. Another one right there, as you can see, just jagged, and we don't know if that was built up at one time or if it's just come apart like that. There's a lot of rocks down at the bottom that are seemingly just kind of tumbled down. Could be natural, we don't know. This was behind me as I was shooting the other video from that spot right here. I think I'm going to go back down and look at it. Look at those teeth on that. Can that be natural? But anyhow, that looks really cool. Look at those rocks. That's amazing. If that's natural geology, that's still pretty cool. If somebody worked it like that, even cooler. I don't know to what end, or maybe they would cut rocks out of there to use in the structure up here. But that's nifty. I have found another section of wall as soon as I turned. If you go up this little track here by these cute little Christmas trees, I find myself coming up on this section here. So it just keeps giving and giving this and my first impression on seeing this, look at how solidly that's founded. That is well built. Looks straight right there, drops straight, and over on this side, straight there. It's a bit of a steep thing here, but it looks like it's even built up right along here. Some rock right by this tree. I don't know, this tree wouldn't have been here X time ago. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. Let's go up a little more and see what we can find out. Big, massive rock formations anyway. The natural of it. If you wanted a naturally strong place for any reason, then this is definitely made to the bill. So the wall is there. Here's another little inlet of it right here. And it goes here. Oh, I hope this isn't going to destroy my pants. And it actually continues fairly far along. There are write-ups all over. If you research Bayer's Lake mystery wall on the internet, you'll find all kinds of hits on it. I think I can cross it here without disrespecting it too much. So it goes there and beyond over there still. So let's see what we can see, eh? So that's where we came from. And over here, so just to orient myself, oh, there's another special place sign. Yeah, the two buildings I parked at yesterday are back there. You could probably see through the trees. I don't know if the camera will pick it out, but I can see the framework of the new building under construction, so. Which way the trail? I say this way. Right along the wall, duck under the tree. This isn't going to be a very great run because I ran here about 3.5 kilometers. But I like to mix things up sometime and do some exploring, especially for an opportunity like this.